Hello and welcome back. Today is a brand new day here at I decided to call it the Orion Agricultural Farm Facility Number 1. Um, you can see the sun is just coming up. And in the last episode, we went ahead and we built this lovely little landing pad and an elevator. As you can see, I have done a little bit of work since then. Primarily what you can see here is I did put some lights down here. I put railings up so I can't just walk off the edge. Now I have to jump. I added nice little section over here. This is now fully enclosed and airtight for elevator waiting. And I can now summon the elevator. Oh, looks like I need to grab that. Where's my groups? Piston groups. Let me slap a reverse on that. Alright, there we go. And if you look down underneath the 9 and 0 on my toolbar, you can see it is high O2 and warm in here. But now when I open the door, it comes back to cold. So that's how you can kind of tell that it is airtight. Hop in the elevator. And clang. I did not like clang. And looking out the window, you can see that I did go ahead and add some piping going up and connected that to something. And we also now have an elevator waiting area up here at the top. Just close things up. And then you can also see that I decided to go ahead and do a whole bunch of work up here. So for this particular base, I decided that you probably don't really need to see me go ahead and pull out a nice big plus sign or put together yet another storage facility. I do have 2 large cargo containers in there, and we will be visiting regularly. Nope, instead, what I want to start talking about here is farming. Now, when I come on over here, you can see that I've got this nice, lovely plus sign. I've got a bunch of lights up, lights going this way. If I come on over here, you can see I went ahead and put my side-mounted connector down here. And then you see this little section right here. So I have already plotted out a few different builds that I want to make. And today, what I want to go over is what I'm calling minimum viable farming. So lots of people go ahead and put together big-ass farms full of, all sorts of automation and so on. And that is great. I fully intend to go ahead and do something similar. I'm going to play around with a few different farming methods here with you guys. But I also wanted to do a little bit of experimenting with what it looks like to go ahead and have a tiny little farm and be basically, this is just enough for your character to survive on. Now, I am not talented enough with my video editing skills. As a matter of fact, they're basically non-existent, to go ahead and pull up any of the charts or anything else that I have seen for how much food you need. But the short and sweet of it is that you'll go from 100% to 0 in 90 minutes, assuming default settings. If you are looking at a vegetarian-only food, which is what you would get if you're trying to put a tiny little farm on a spaceship, and obviously the wolves cannot attack you in space yet. I know, they're waiting. Then the best food that you can grow is spaghetti. So spaghetti is 3 grains, 1 mushroom, and 1 veggies. It fills you by 71%. And the spaghetti will need about 5 plots to be able to grow it. Um, this means that like the bare minimum for doing that, provided that you have grain, mushrooms, and veggies, is you need to have something that does 5 plots, and that's going to bring up the Nook. So this is what I'm going to call this particular design that meets that minimum viable product for being able to feed you. I have a few others, which I will demonstrate after this, um, that are designed either just to do a different layout of this, a different way to look at it, or to do different foods. And I will go over that when we get there. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the Nook. So you can see I went ahead and I put the label right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together. So I want to go ahead and slap a door up here, and then a door up here. And this is going to be my airlock. One of the things that I am a big proponent of is always making sure that your food has an airlock so you can't just like um, have your ship vented and then accidentally open the door and then all of a sudden all your food's gone. So for the Nook, this is going to be kind of like a pretty standard little thing that you can do. Um, and we need to have 5 plots. You can see I went ahead and I have 2 air vents here. And then right below here, this is where I shoved my irrigation system. With this design, you could shove your irrigation systems literally anywhere. You don't need them to be right underneath. You could try and figure out how to put it off to the side or whatever you want. But for this one, I just shoved it there. Now, to get my farm plots, what I'm going to need now is I'm going to need a conveyor junction, and then I'm going to need a pair of C's on each side. Now, an important thing to note here is that these conveyor or these reinforced curved conveyor tubes are not airtight. However, the bottom of the farm plot is. This means that when I go ahead and I put farm plots down on this, that section will be airtight provided that everything around it is. So let's go ahead and grab those farm plots. I need this. All right, and a farm plot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I forgot to grab the pieces for the farm plots apparently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me come back on over here and just grab that out of there. Alrighty. Now, with this being Earth-like, even though it's cold right now, I could still go ahead and grow my plots in here. I would not actually need to go ahead and put an enclosure in. Though if it got like freezing or something like that, or Inferno, which it doesn't really on Earth like that I found, though I haven't played in any of the deserts, then you could leave this out. If I were to go ahead and be setting this up over at the mining outpost, technically I don't need to do this. However, setting it up at the hydrogen processing facility where I had hailstorms that damaged me, well, it's a different story. So let's go ahead now and start putting some walls up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and grab a half window corner on each of these sides. And then I'm going to come on over here. 1, 2, 2, 3, and 1, 2. All right. I'll weld this up really quick. right. So now with this, as soon as I put the roof on, this should go ahead and come out as, what's it called? Sealed. So for that, let's go ahead and come on over here to this. And, alright, so I want to start with the truffer light. Hello, puppies. You sensed that I was trying to make a video, didn't you? And then I will go ahead and place these down here. And then here I can do this. Oh, need to go back and grab some more construction components. Alright. Alright, so here, I can now come in here, and you can see this is now airtight. So this means that I now have a full airlock, and I have my 5 plots here. If I come on in here, control pan, no, let's try this. Farm plot, you can see that I've got the water level. If I check out my irrigation systems, you can see I've currently got 3, though I haven't, I'm not running anything yet. And these are lights, if you were not aware, so I don't even technically need this, it just feels better that way. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get some seeds and start that, and deal with the puppies, so I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, puppies dealt with, and I have my seeds. If you have not already seen this, they have changed how you can plant with the latest update. So I can come on here to my seed packs, and I'm going to go ahead and select 7, 8, and then 9. So you can see down there that for 7 I put in grain, 8 I put in mushrooms, and 9 I put in veggies. Now I can go ahead and close this. It is now sealed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start by eating, and then 7. So I've selected 7, and now I can just left click, 8, and 9. There we go. So this little thing is going to take 30 minutes for the grain to fully grow. When it's done, every single one of these is going to produce at least 2, but sometimes 3 units that I will harvest. I can then take one of those and turn it back into seeds, and then I can take the other, and this is basically 1 unit of spaghetti. So if I am not completely on top of things, I should be able to go ahead and basically run this 3 times a day. Provided that, I'm on my ship and I can go ahead and just not be too distracted with things, which, I mean, if you've watched any of these videos, you know I'm easily distracted. But if I come back every 30 to 40 minutes, I can get 71% fill, get that 3 times a day, and then that's going to be about 210% total fill value for 1 day. For playing on normal food usage, that is going to be basically 133% food usage in the same amount of time. So you can see that I have a small bonus. I can build up some food with this, and I don't need to always be on top of it. However, I can just go ahead and set a timer, come back, and I'm all good. Provided, of course, I don't kill my plants. Come out here, you can see we are nice, warm, everything's fine. I don't need to go ahead and have the airlock system here right now, but again, this is more of a practice. If I put this on a ship, what kind of footprint do I need? Um, and then the next question is, how easily can I expand this? Well, with this one, I can basically make it longer. I can make a hallway with plots on either side. I could basically just take that conveyor, run it a little bit farther, put some more C's on it, but then I also would not, in order to get through, I would need to take out that middle one. So each length that I added to that, I'm basically adding two more plots. And doing that effectively is going to let me just get um, more time between needing to farm, which the less you have to do something, the better, in my opinion. All right, now we're going to come over here and investigate what I'm calling the closet. So the closet was the next tiny design that I had in mind, and this one, let me go ahead and pull up my notes. One moment. All right, so this one was designed for if you do not have the ingredients for spaghetti. So spaghetti, you need grain, mushrooms, and vegetables. If you are missing one of those, you cannot make spaghetti. Um, but the next highest fill value thing is.
Energy low.
Thank you. Well, I will go fill up while I talk. You can see here's my little warehouse. My food processor is right there, and cargo access is there. All right. So let me finish talking here. So the next highest fill value is going to be 50%. Um, if you were to try and do 50% off of the Nook, uh, you're actually gonna be cutting it really tight. You may actually run out of food. So when you're looking at using foods that are in the 30 to 50% fill value range, again, harvested like three-ish times a day, um, you really need about 8 plots. So how are we going to get 8 plots on our ship? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So for this, I'm going to need, let's see here, I'm going to need 2 junctions. Then I'm going to need 2, 3, 4 C's, 6, 7, 8, and 2 T's. Okay. So you can see here I already set this up with, I have 2 air vents here, 1 more air vent here, and then clearly I'm up to something. So let's go ahead and see what nonsense I'm up to this time. Now here I could go ahead and actually, yeah, no, let's play it safe. I could go ahead possibly and use like a tease here, or I could use conveyors here and just fill the bottom with armor blocks. But I'm going to use the conveyor junctions just to be entirely sure that we are airtight. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and come in here and I'm going to grab C's on each side. Then let's go ahead and move on up to our T's. Nope, wrong orientation. I need this going up. And some of you may suspect what is about to be happening here, which is I'm going to be putting farms vertically on the wall. So let me go ahead and easy way to do what I'm looking to do. All right, so I'm going to need doors there. Let's go ahead and put our doors in place. 1, 2. All right. So for this one, I'm going to need to have the doors on this side like this. And let's go ahead and grab those farm plots. All right. So, as you can see, there are no issues whatsoever using standard rotation, slapping these farm plots down like this. Additionally, you will also note that I can very easily reach up to here. So that means that I can walk through this and still easily access everything that you see here. Alright, so let's go ahead and make this little structure airtight. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a door here. I think I might need to move the closet sign. Let's see here. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these. And then I can just come on over here. And for this one, you can see that to extend it, it's very, very easy. All we just do is we keep pushing out this way. But it is taking up a bigger portion of our ship than that one is. Alright, let's go ahead and just slap. I cannot put corners in, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to be rather excessive and just slap these in. Okay. Like this. Make sure that's arranged how I want it to. Yep. Okay. And then that's not where you're supposed to go. Alright, and then if I close the door, we are airtight. Yes, you do see a small gap there. That is okay. We are still currently airtight. What is with that glitch? Alright, so this is now an airtight box. And then we just need to figure out what we're doing out here to go ahead and keep the airtightness. Keeping in mind that these pieces here are actually going ahead and sticking out. So there's something currently occupying this space. Knowing that I probably need to break these down, it's not going to work. And I need to replace that with something else. So an easy option here would be, let's go ahead and do this. Putting in a pair of these. And then I can come in here and and just slap some armor panels in here. Or I could have slapped the windows in there instead. And then let's go ahead and remove the closet sign. Text panel. Just slap that in there. And then we can go ahead and put it. Actually, let's do this. Alright, and then come back in here, rename it the closet. There we go. And now we can see, close the door, we are fully sealed. And then we have full access to everything. Alright, so let me go ahead and get some stuff for that, and we'll be right back in a second. Alright, here we are back in the closet. And for this one, I was planning to demonstrate another recipe, because we've got the spaghetti going over there. But again, this one was more for what if you don't have all the ingredients that you need to make spaghetti. So what I'm going to do is on this wall here, I'm going to go ahead and make chili. So chili is, what was it? Dang it. Let me come on into my production. And we can see chili is 3 veggies and 1 fruit. And then on the other side, I was going to go ahead and make fruit pastry, which is 2 grains, 2 fruit. Another good one to place here would be, flatbread only requires 3 things. Red pellets is fruit and veggies. This is basically chili, but slightly different proportions. Garden slaw, same thing. If you do any one of these, do the chili. Otherwise, the veggie burger has the same requirements as spaghetti does. Curry would be another good one here, which is 2 fruit, a grain, and a veggies. This would basically be your next best option, assuming that you can't make spaghetti. But again, here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 wall for chili and then 1 wall for fruit pastry, just to kind of demonstrate what can happen. So I will make this wall the fruit pastry. So I've got grain, and then fruit, fruit. And then this wall, I'm going to go ahead and do fruit, veggies. There we go. Once this is grown, which is going to be 35 minutes for the fruit, then we will be able to go ahead, harvest this, replant everything, and make chili and fruit pastries. And just checking here really quick. Let me come in here to my oh, come on. Press the right buttons. Eventually I can get it. Alright, so farm plots. You can see the water usage, growth time, and you can see that as of right now at least. Okay, so the mushrooms have already grown. They are fully ready to harvest, but there's no reason to do that right now. We will come back and do stuff later, but you can see what the grow time is, what the crop health is, what the water level is. And if I come and check out my irrigation systems, you can see I'm doing fine there. And then when I come into the irrigation system down here, you can see that all of them still have plenty of ice. And I brought just a smidge from the ice processing facility. All right, and as you can see, full airlock going. Don't need to worry about anything. All right, so those were kind of like the first two ideas that I had that were, you know, I guess this would be my standard assumption once you know how much you need. And this was just an idea that I had for what can I do to like maximize the available space, knowing that with the ships that I build, at least sometimes I have more vertical space that I can't make use of than I do horizontal space. This then brings us to my next pair of ideas. This is what I call the hallway, and then the hallway 2. Now, one of the things that doesn't seem entirely obvious, maybe it does if I point it out, but it just doesn't feel like it, is you can actually walk on farm plots. So, what do I mean by this? Let's go ahead and grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've got a bunch of farm plots that I can put down. Where do I put them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's this? I can just walk across them without any issues. And this is just your standard 2x1x1 base. So, and I don't need to be doing anything to just kind of walk up this. It just handles it perfectly. So this means that if you have a ship, you could, and you have a conveyor system, say like pushing ammo to front weapons, connecting your hydrogen tanks, whatever it is, you can make use of the conveyor going forward, and instead of just having a straight line, we can stick these T's here, and rather than needing this box, we can make the pathways that we were already having to have be our farm. So let's go ahead, finish kind of wrapping this up, and actually, before I do that, the other thing that I had been looking at is you don't have to do it with just, you know, one set of conveyors, because here we go. I have a shorter corridor, but if I have redundant conveyors, one going on the bottom of the ship and one going on the top, well, what's to stop me from doing this? Hey, look, I've got 6 plots. I could just walk down this hallway that I have to put in my ship to get from like engineering to my cockpit, or just, you know, to be able to make it around all of my refineries or whatever. I've got my farm in here. Why not? So let's go ahead and just kind of build these out really quick, see what it would look like if I just kind of framed it in. But the assumption here is that you are taking some hallway that you already had in your ship that was near conveyance. The walls are already up. We're just going to make sure that we can go ahead and have like that airlock seal. And hey, we can now get all the farming that we need done. So let's go ahead and just grab a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what? I'm just gonna grab them until I drop. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then on this side, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's just weld that up really quick. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. And then come on. Get on top, stay on top. There we go. Interesting. All right. All right, and I'm gonna want 5 more of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's just go ahead and grab a bunch of steel plates. And also some tropholites. Alright, there we go. Alright, so to seal this section in, let's just go ahead and make things nice and easy. We're going to just go ahead and slap some light armor panels down on these sides. That is the wrong connection there. That is correct. Yeah, there we go.
Energy low.
And I will be right back with more energy. Alright, and I'm back. So let's go ahead and finish paneling this up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and then while I am kind of pretending this is a corridor, I'm just going to go ahead and stick a... actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and stick a light panel over here. Yes, walk into the white light. Sorry. And then up here, I can just go ahead and stick that on. Over here, I can stick that on. There we go. And then if I stick on, again, just grab my lab doors. So here I have to stick it on the outside, which means that, again, I need to remove the sign. And then when I come in here, we can come on over to the light and see, hey, we are now fully sealed in. So then I can just come on over here and just grab some more light armor panels. Two. And then voila. Let my text panel down again. And then we can just rename this really quick. And now we have a hallway that we can walk through, fully airtight, and you've got stuff growing from the ceiling and the floor. This current configuration is giving you 6 plots. You could very easily swap one of these plots out for a half fan. Um, just like stick a half fan there or a half fan there or something like that. So that way we don't need to worry about getting the pressure from the far side. Um, and then if you want more, well, I'm sure your hallway could be longer. Uh, One of the things that I found building large ships is I consistently just need to build the dang ship bigger. So just having more from that seems fine. Um, then for this one, dun, 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 let me just go ahead and slap up my armor panels. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll just weld all that up really quick. And then here, the general idea again is just if you don't have 2 conveyor lines that are close to each other, well, I'm sure you've got a hallway somewhere. So let's go ahead and just slap this down. Um, there we go. And then I can go ahead and just put these on really quick. And then here I can go ahead and I could go ahead and just like line the top with the light panels, or what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to go ahead and grab these half troffer lights. Yep, okay. Okay, let's go ahead and just stick 2 down. And then I will stick some half blocks in. And the big trick with this is you are going to have to either go down or you're going to have to go up, just depending upon whether or not you are walking on this side on the conveyors or you are walking above them. So then here, I don't have anything in this tile, so I can go ahead and stick 1 door there. And then once again, I have to get rid of my sign, but that's okay. And then I also could have made this another troffer light just to go ahead and have some lighting in here, but there's no real reason to. And again, you can see I am fully pressurized. Come down here, I am fully pressurized. So if you just need, or if you want to rely on something else other than algae, and you happen to use hallways, you can see that either of these plans would be pretty trivial to implement. So let's come on over here and just fill them up with some seeds. What do I have on hand? 5, 6, 4, 5. So, nope, wrong button. So what I will do here is, let's just go ahead and plant a bunch of fruit down here. There we go. Again, with 5 long, if what you're looking to do is have that be everything, you're going to want to grow spaghetti. If you can make it longer, then you can go ahead and grow any of the other crops, or meals, I should say. Coming on in here, let's come on over to, I want to keep some grain and veggies for the next section, so let's go ahead and do fruit and mushrooms in here. So here, let's go ahead and start with mushrooms. You can see I have no issues whatsoever reaching anything. But I can just walk right over it. Everything's fine. It doesn't matter that I'm walking across it. If I'm like taking a rover across, that's an issue. But walking, no issues. And then you can see we are fully airtight. Close that, open this up, and there we have it. So all of these are completely internal. You don't need any sunshine. You just need power, ice, and airtightness. Which I guess means that you also need oxygen, but you know, minor issue. The next and the last one of my little minimum viable food is what I'm going to call the ramen shack. Now, if you have mushrooms, grain, veggies, fruit, you can go ahead and make most of the foods. Uh, but depending upon what you are missing, some of them you can make, some of them you can't. Ramen is the only thing that you can make if you have grain and veggies. Now, from my own experience playing around and watching some of the other streamers or YouTubers, veggies are some of the rarest things to find from like an unknown signal. But, you know, maybe you got lucky or particularly unlucky, and you have just grain and veggies. So you have to make ramen. Or maybe you just like the idea of making ramen. This build was my idea for kind of like a minimum viable ramen source. So what do we have here? We've got our air vents, and then I just stuck an irrigation system right here because I needed 2 connection points here anyways. Now, the big difference with ramen is it does require algae, which means that you are going to need sunlight. Now, if you watched my very first Space Engineers video, I went ahead and set up a little algae tower that follows the sun. And if you want to maximize your production of algae, that's what you want to do. But if you just want to be really lazy, you can go ahead and just stick algae on your roof and it will grow. So this particular build that I'm going to show does require the DLC half algae blocks. If you don't have them, you could still do something similar, but it's not going to form the roof like this is. So here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a cargo terminal. I'm going to put a cargo terminal right here. And then on the other side, I'm going to go ahead and stick a conveyor junction. There we go. All right. Then, around the base of this, I can just go ahead and slap some light armor blocks down. And then on the back here, I'm going to go ahead and just slap some armor panels down. Though I will note for this one that if you wanted to extend it, it is absolutely trivial because you just basically take and you put more conveyors on the end to make this as long as you would like. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and grab my farm plots. And we are once again going to do the vertical farming. They just connect nicely right into these little conveyors here. And now that the sun is setting, it's a little bit more obvious that these are actually lights. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick some light armor panels down here just to provide something for it to grab onto. And I will also do it on this side. And then, because I can, let's go ahead and make these sides out of glass. And then we will come back here, slap these on here. And then, because I'm feeling a little silly, let me check the new curved blocks. Where are they? I want to see if it has a block that accomplishes what I'm hoping for. The rounded edges. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. I need to go ahead and put my algae farms up on the roof. And you can see that with the connector there, I can basically just slap them on top. These are airtight on the bottom. And then let's check in here to see if they have a half-high rounded slope tip, but I want it to come out and like what I want is I want to have this half high. Why can't you give me this half high? Come on, Keen, make it happen. There's something that comes close. Rounded edge, rounded corner, rounded slope, rounded half edge. That's not doing what I want it to. Why can't you give me what I want? So this is the closest that it comes, and that does not do what I want it to do. So what I had been thinking about doing was just coming on in here with, I guess I have to come down here, with a round window. And then I could have done something kind of cutesy like a round window, rounded I guess I could do like this. Doesn't have the effect that I want it to, but I guess it does the job. And then let me go ahead and grab a troffer light there. And then I can have the lab door here and the lab door here. All right. Now, funny story about this. Um, this curve here is actually airtight, so there's actually not new air coming down this way. So, yeah, keen airlocks are the best. Oh, come on. I thought I had already put you in my build planner. So, I could do something like this. I don't like it. It's really, really tempting, but let's go ahead and do this instead. Ow. Oh, hey, I forgot these. I mean, I guess technically I didn't have to weld that, but then I can come up here and flap these things down, and there we go. So this particular design I like because it's designed specifically for growing ramen. So ramen requires one grain, one veggie, and then two algae. We've got the algae right up top, and even assuming that you don't have the greatest position, well, actually, let me rephrase this. If you have perfect lighting, algae will produce, or the algae farm will produce one algae every 3 minutes. So, assuming that you can get okay lighting, you don't have anything that's blocking this, and you can get, basically perfect for 30 minutes out of the day, that would still mean that one of these is producing 10 kelp.
Energy low.
Thank you. Um, and that means that if I were to go ahead and farm this, I could go ahead and have one grain, one veggie, two kelp, and since it's still going to take 30 minutes for the grain to grow, that means that I can expect 3 harvests. That uses 6 of the algae, so I would have a minimum of like one extra kelp crisp. So every day I get from each row like this, I get 3 packs of ramen and a kelp crisp. And then extending it out another level, it's another 3 packs of ramen and a kelp crisp. Let's go ahead and toss my grain seeds and my veggie seeds in. So let's say that I did this. There we go. Grain on this side. Veggies on. That's not what I want to put. Veggies on this side. There we go. Obviously, with the sun having just set, this would not produce anything until the next day. But this little box can keep one person fed. And if you need to feed more people, just extend it. Or if you want to be able to like check this once a day, once every couple hours, just extend it, get it, and the only other thing that is that you will end up with more kelp crisps if you don't harvest this as often. Okay, puppies have been dealt with. My headset is back working again, despite my cat's best efforts. Uh, I still don't understand how the cat jumping on the case can turn off a Bluetooth headset, but I guess the mysteries of the universe persist. So, anyways, these were my ideas for kind of small little minimum viable farms. You can see all of them looking at, anywhere between 5 and 8 or so farm plots. They're not really designed for, I want to go ahead and automate this. Trying to get something that would like auto plant these. Seems a little silly. You can see the grain here is ready to harvest. So I could, actually it's not ready to harvest yet. Nope, it is. Oh, yeah, so that's fully harvested everything. And then if I come in here, you can see I had, let's see, 3 veggies, 3 fruit, 2 grain in here. And now I've got 5 grain, 8 fruit, and 8 veggies. So again, you're guaranteed basically to get at least 2, but there's some number of the time you get 3. So I did all of my calculations assuming that you were only getting the 2 and you were particularly unlucky. But you can see spaghetti is ready to make. There we go. Coming on over here to the hallway. This fruit is not ready to harvest, but again, I can just walk right over it. There's no issues. Come in and check our mushrooms here. Again, fruit is not ready to harvest, but I can go ahead and grab all these mushrooms. And then obviously the ramen is not ready. But with all of this, none of that took me any particular great amount of time. If you've got space to put any of these on one of your ships, or your moon base or whatever, this is kind of like the bare minimum that you would need. Anything past this is just going to make it easier for you to farm less often. So all of this setup would be, I need to be checking in every like 40 minutes on my farming, or I'm going to starve. But aside from this one, these 4 options are really, really easy to extend, duplicate, double in size, whatever. This hallway 2 is basically the hallway. It's just I need the conveyance on top too. It's really, really easy to just say, yeah, I've got a hallway that's, say, 8 long. If I wanted to go ahead and, like, say, bridge between these, let's actually go ahead and do that really quick. So I want to cross between these 2 halls. Well, let's go ahead and then stick in. I could either use the half blocks here, or if I had to go up, like, because there's not directly from one to the other. I can come on out. So this is what I would do if there's more space than just this. And then I need to go ahead and take this out as well. And then just for the sake of argument here, I will go ahead and stick full blocks in. Need a... I need more steel plates. Good thing I brought just a few.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
So again, I could have just put half blocks across, or like if I've got the hallway here and then another hallway over here with like a room in between, I can easily come on up, cross on over, have multiples of these linked together, link it all with the rest of my ship, and you can see there's no issues going between them. And if I had put these even further apart, then, I could go ahead and do something like have another door. Because like I could come up to here, have a door right here that then leads to the other room and then extends across. So if you have other ideas for things that you would put on a ship to go ahead and farm while you're, say, flying around exploring in space, or you've got a rover and you're using a rover base and you don't want to just eat kelp all the time, as my character has been doing for way too long, please go ahead, leave that in the comments. Tell me what you would do. Link me videos that would show me how you would go ahead and connect things, because all of this is actually part of me planning what I want my future spaceships to look like. Yeah, so if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching. And in our next one, I'm going to go ahead and start looking at some bigger farms, add in some automation, because even though this is kind of trivially easy, it could get a little bit more annoying once I extend it out to have like 50 plots or something silly like that. Which I may or may not do. I totally don't have everything marked out for that yet. Totally. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.